Hey YouTube, Cinny Steve back with another video. Let you know what I've been picking up, what I've been playing. And yeah, got quite a few pickups to show. Mainly big stuff really. I mean, usually I've got about 20-30 Amiga games, but no, the Amiga games have slowed right down. Got quite a few hit squads, but again, I think I'm going to just wait until I can get the full set before showing all of those. But what have I been playing today? Yeah, I've sort of got everything on today. But I've been playing a bit of Gradius Rebirth on the Wii. Still playing a bit of Sei Dojo, Dodonpachi on the 360. Really cool game. I played that at Monster Mugs on his Viewlix. He's got it for the Extra Arcadia. Awesome, awesome game. Obviously that version's a bit different. Still can't get enough of Jamestown Plus either. Struggling to 1cc it on the Switch, but yeah, really cool game. Recommend that to anyone. But first up on the Amiga, we've got Marble Madness. I know I showed this trackball stroke mouse the other month, and Marble Madness plays brilliant on it. I mean, I do like myself an arcade port, like everyone knows, but yeah, it just controls really nicely with it. There's not too many Atari arcade ports left to get for the Amiga. I think I'm only after a few more. But yeah, really cool port. Really like that. Moving on to the Vectrex. You're not going to see this very well because I have to turn the ISO right down, otherwise a lot of the screens go so bright. But this is Vector Blade. Pretty cool game. Homebrew by Malban. Yeah, really good. Gallagher clone. Really like the music. It's fast. Yeah, really cool game. I haven't played it that much, but from what I've seen, it looks awesome. So what have I got in the arcades today? Well, we've got all boards running today. Well, apart from the Viewlix, I suppose. But this is a couple of pickups I've got. I'll show you the boards when I sit down. First up being Outzone. Such a cool game. I own the sequel to this, Fixate, but I sold it a while back because I wasn't impressed with it really. I didn't really like the colours of it, but the original Outzone, there's no wonder why Outzone's the more sought after game. Really cool, really like that game. And sticking with Atari Plane Shooter, Hellfire. Another really cool game. I mean, I never really gave this much time on the Mega Drive. Like, Mega Drive's a decent port of it. But obviously arcade is where you want to be playing it. Got a really good deal with both these boards. And as I say, I'll show them when I sit down with you. Moving on to Neo Geo, and it would be on that screen, wouldn't it? But I've got a bit of Sendoko 3 on there. Yeah, another cool game. And then sticking with Neo Geo on the Taito X Type 2. Got Samurai Spirits. Now, I've never played this in my life. I was just looking through the games and I thought this looked really cool. I'm guessing it's a one of the later versions of Samurai Showdown. I'm guessing. Don't quote me on it. Done absolutely no research, so I might make myself look silly there. But it looks a very similar style game. Outrun, barely played. I don't think I've played this since the last time I switched it on six weeks ago. So all the scores have reset. So by the end of today, I'll have another score on there, see if I can beat my PB. And then we've got Hyper Bishi Bashi that's back in the Astro. Love that game, and the girls, my little girls, asked for it, so I've put that back in. And the Dart Machine's still going strong, with the hit squads ever growing. It's literally all the way to the end now, pretty much, barring that Sega Smash Hits. So yeah, the game room is all looking good. I've pretty much got everything on today. I've even got a bit of Robotron on the go. Always close my eyes a little bit when I turn that on. because obviously it's not mine, and I just don't want to switch it on and it not work. But no, it's all looking good. As for my clock that's still up there, absolutely love that thing. The amount of times I just find myself watching it, absolutely awesome. Massive thanks again for that, Rich. So right, let's have a sit down. What have I got to show? I've got a new arcade cab, obviously not in here. Got a couple of new systems, a few C64 games, few Amiga games. So yeah, let's have a sit down and set the tripod up. Right, let's get on with the pickups. I'm going to start with the arcade cab. Now, I've got absolutely no room for it, but it was on eBay. Retro Dave Nintendo sent me the listing, and I thought, yeah, that does look pretty good. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything dedicated anyway. I love the arcades, and it's always in my head that I'll have a bigger game room one day. I think I'd love to have, like, to be honest, all the consoles and games and stuff now. There is a few more games I want to get, like Amiga, Japanese Mega Drive, and a few other bits, but nothing. I can play everything I want now, console related, barring sort of next generation. But arcades, I would love to own. I don't know, a good maybe 15 to 20 arcades with probably about 10 to 12 of those being dedicated. This one wasn't on my list, but I do actually like the game. I remember playing it at 4 quarters, and we had a bit of a competition going. Very early game. But it was Retro Dave Nintendo that sent me the listing. He was like, oh, this is just up the road from you, which it was. It was only in Sevenoaks. So literally 25 minutes, half an hour from me. Not working. The guy that listed it, you could tell he didn't really know what he was talking about, really. Like, I think he sort of listed it as like sort of gobbledygook on the screen. So I just sent him a message. So look, how much are you looking for? And he was like, oh, make me an offer, which I don't really like. But he was like, make me an offer, I can't refuse. And I said, well, I'll offer you 400 quid. And he was like, yep, you got a deal. I said, well, obviously let me come around and see it first. But yeah, if all's sort of there and all original, yeah, I'll don't mind parting with that. And he was like, yep, that's fine. Went over there, and the guy obviously had money. He was pretty minted. He had a sort of like a big game room himself, with sort of table tennis, pool table, bar, pinball machine. He had a Terminator 2 pinball machine. He had a one-up cab that he was really praising because it hasn't gone wrong on him. But he reckoned he'd owned this cab for 20 years. And yeah, looked in the back, all looked complete. I mean, there was cobwebs everywhere, so I could tell he'd obviously been there a while. And again, yep, turned it on, all gobbledygook on the screen, but it was only in black and white, so I was a little bit like, oh, I've no idea what sort of state the monitor's going to be in, whether it's all the colours are there. So I said, look, if you give me 50 quid back, I'll take it here and now, because I just didn't want to sort of get it all back, see if I get the board working, and then realise the monitor was shot, and I'd have to sort of spend maybe another 80 quid getting that fixed. And he was like, yep, that's absolutely fine. Put it in the back of the van. Because he literally had, as soon as I sort of said yes, he had it on the trolley and was wheeling it out to my van. And I didn't realise he'd left the back key in it. When we loaded it on, it snapped the key. But luckily, there was 2 keys for it anyway. And when the key snapped, I mean, I've got tools up. I've extracted the key from it, so I've still got a spare one anyway. So yeah, that was a bit annoying. But yeah, got it home. I will put a few sort of like videos and stuff, maybe little clips of me sort of testing it out. I cleaned the board, reseated all the chips, but yeah, didn't make any progress whatsoever, which was a shame. But I mean, I wasn't in a rush. It was a project cab anyway, because again, you're seeing the pics, there's no art on it. And yeah, I thought I'd get the art in, I'll give the ball to Monster Mug, see what he can do with it. But he was struggling with it because the setup he's got, he just doesn't have the room or even the time really. So he was swapping chips out for me, but not really making much progress because a lot of his testing gear is sort of put away. So he was sort of trying to guess, if you like, without actually properly testing with flukes and whatnot. But he's a busy, I'd hate being a burden on him because he does so much for me. But he recommended another guy on the forum who I'd heard of. Like, obviously it's quite a small niche hobby, I suppose, arcade collecting and whatnot. So yeah, I sent the ball to him, and he's fixed it for me. He's going to send it back soon, but Monster Mug lent me his board, so that's what's in there at the moment, because he's pretty much got every board that ever existed, I think. So yeah, really happy. I got all the art off Arcade Art Shop, Muddymusic. He'd done a great job with it, got it over to me, and it's literally the first time I've ever applied art. But as you would have seen in the little pictures and clips I put on, it's a Galaxian cab. Really early arcade game. What was it, 1979? I believe it's one of the first, if not the first, colour arcade game. So yeah, it's looking good now. I think what I'll do now, I'll swap to the next video, because the cab's actually in my lounge and the wife's not happy. But luckily I found a home for it to go to. I'm not going to sell it, but I'm gonna lend it out for hopefully a few years before I've got enough room for it. So yeah, let me flick to the next clip. And this is how it turned out. I say, really happy. This is my first attempt of putting full side art on a cab, and even the kick plate art is all is completely full as well, because I'd actually painted the cab because I thought it was like a sticker decal that goes on. But it's not easy. It's for the first time. I mean, this was the first side I put on, the right hand side, and as I say, there was a few little dodgy moments, but it all came out nice. And then the second one went on really easy because I'd sort of honed the technique, if you like. But I'm still not really sure how to do this properly. Like when obviously the vinyl goes up to the edge, you obviously cut it to the edge of the cab, and then when you put the T-moulding on, it sort of pushes on the vinyl and tries sort of pushing it away from the cab. It's not too bad, as I say. There's probably just a couple of areas that you can sort of see it bulge. The around the coin door, I believe I had a little crease. You can barely see it. There's a little crease there. I think it's because when I sort of cut out for the coin door, and I was using the old squeegee to get all the Rapid Tack out. Yeah, it just sort of put a crease in it as I was squeegeeing it. But it's, as I say, really happy. It's the monitor's really nice. Obviously, it's running Monster Mugs board at the moment. The black has got a bit of patina. I'm not entirely sure what to do with that yet. I'll probably end up spraying it, sort of that side and that side. It's not too bad, and it doesn't actually need any filling, just a bit of sandpaper. But there was a bit at the edge of here, you'll barely be able to see it, but somebody had put a screw, because there's a trim that holds the glass in at the back, and somebody had put in a screw that was a bit too long. So I think I'm going to fill that. In fact, you probably see it better there in the light. Fill that and maybe just spray it. I'm not sure. I mean, I do quite like a bit of patina. I mean, the control panel's not perfect. There's a couple of little bits, but it's very nice. I'll give it that. It's very nice. But you can see the paintwork. It looks like this may have been painted quite badly at some point. The marquee has got a couple of areas that's worn away, so I might do something with that as well. But to be honest, I don't really want to make it too mint. I quite like the patina on it. I don't want it to look brand new, and that's why I didn't go to a massive effort to make the sides just completely flat. I mean, you can sort of fill it and sand it for ages, but as I say, I'm pretty happy with it. As I say, the monitor's looking good. That's the main thing. It plays well. But this came with the cab, and it was on there. It's the like the tinted plexi, and it's obviously for the cab. It's all the stickers and everything are right on there. But there's like a curve on it, and it was literally sitting on top of the monitor, on top of the tube. And then when I put it back, I thought it was supposed to sit further away, because I mean, why would you want it like directly on the tube? But when you put it further away, it just makes it really dark. So I might put that back on the tube. I'm not really sure. I'm not even really sure it really needs it, but I don't know. We'll see. I might have another sort of experiment with that. But anyway, let's start it up and just have a quick credit. So all right, let's coin it up. I haven't actually tried the coin mech yet, because I've actually got a few quarters laying around, and I also believe that it's on hard because you only get 2 lives. But let's have a quick little go. I'm not very good at it, if I'm honest. So just give you an idea. Obviously it's Space Invaders clone, predecessor to Galaga. That was rubbish. Like, that was ridiculous, awful play. Just have one more quick life. And you get the bonuses when you shoot them convoys. I know that Charlie Farr, good friend, I believe he's the world record holder of this game. I might get him to sign it. I remember seeing a Mad Planets cab where the world record holder signed it. I thought it was quite a nice touch. But anyway, I was just going to do it quickly. I'm not going to play it for ages. You've probably all seen Galaxian before. Anyway, let's get back to the other pickups. Right, I might as well stick with arcades as we're still on it. I was just going to show these boards quickly, really. I got a really good deal with these. Again, went on a bit of an arcade hunt with my good mate Lee, and done a really good deal for the games I was showing you earlier, Outzone and Hellfire. This is the Outzone, for anyone who's bothered looking at arcade hardware. I do love a PCB, I must admit. It's I don't know, it just feels like you're just playing the real thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I play MAME quite a lot, because obviously the boards are so expensive now. But funnily enough, when we bought this, Lee cleaned it for me, and I brought it home, and it actually stopped working, and I didn't know what was going on. So I took it back to him, and I think these chips here had been repaired at some point, because there was flux all around there, and I think where Lee cleaned all the flux off, maybe I mean, I don't think flux is conductive, but maybe something lifted a bit, so he's resoldered those chips there. I mean, he's done a great job. I mean, if you can see them chips there, like how intricate that is. Absolutely fantastic guy with a soldering gun. I'll give him that. But yeah, got a really good deal with both these boards. I mean, usually, I know Outzone, like the Japanese region, I'm sure it's about a 300 to 400 quid game. I think the Euro version's a little bit cheaper, but I end up getting that for 200 quid. And I believe to change the ranges, I think it's like swapping a resistor around or something fairly simple. Not that I'm going to bother with it, because I don't think the game's too much different. I think it's literally just the intro screen. And then this is Hellfire, which again, I know that this can be, I believe, another sort of 200 quid board. But I think I got both boards for, I think it's about 320 quid. Really good deal. But yeah, I mean, it's a good looking board. It looks like all the stickers on the ROMs are original, whereas those ones are not. That board's not in as good condition. But yeah, for just over 300 quid, I'm always looking to sort of add to my PCB collection, because I think I've got about 22, 23 boards, something like that. There's a few more I wouldn't mind getting. Like I wouldn't mind getting a Final Fight. I wouldn't mind getting a Final Fight board. Just the stuff that's really sort of nostalgic to me, as well as shooters. You know, everyone knows I love a shooter. So right, that's the arcade out the way. I'm going to stick with a bit of retro. I've got a new handheld system. Now, this one I wasn't too impressed with actually. I was watching. The reason I wanted to get one, I mean, I've been after one for a while, if I'm honest, but there was something that gave me a big push. Basically, it's an Atari Lynx. Now, I've had the McWheels mod on my Game Gear for years now, and it makes it so good. Like the screen on them are amazing, and there's a guy that's literally makes a screen for this. It always looked like a really fiddly mod, like some really intricate soldering. Now I know I could get the screen and get my mate Monster Mug to do it. He's a legend, but as I say, I don't really want to keep him overwhelmed with work, 'cause he's a busy guy himself. So when I saw that the new screen was released that was pretty much plug and play, I just started looking for one. I pre-ordered that and started looking for a Lynx. Now this was an eBay purchase, and it said it was as new. There wasn't many pictures, which I suppose was my own fault. But I saw the picture of the actual unit and it looked quite nice, but there was no real pictures of the box. And the box is mullered, really, like that side of it's missing, and there's no inserts. I put a best offer, I think I put a best offer at 80 quid, and they accepted it, and I was like, Jesus, what a bargain. But it's a good price, and that's the only reason I haven't sent it back, because I know that the Lynx has gone up in price quite a lot. But it's literally an empty box with no inserts. But the Lynx, and they did pack it well, I'll give them that. There was never any problem with the Lynx getting damaged or anything like that, with obviously no inserts. And the actual unit is actually really nice, and that was the only reason I didn't send it back. So yeah, really happy. Obviously I haven't got the new screen yet, because I pretty much pre-ordered the new screen. Looked into an EverDrive, because I know somebody was making EverDrives ages ago. I remember Roger Cantor was talking about them, and then when I looked into them, it looked like they'd done a run of them and then stopped. And I didn't expect it to be sort of readily available, but yeah, it turns out they are. Retro HQ. I got this through what's the company over here that sells EverDrives? I'll link it underneath. I can't bloody remember the name of it. So yeah, really happy. I've fully loaded it. Few homebrews, obviously full library of games. So yeah, I'm just waiting for the new what's it called? The new screen. Even though, as I say, it looks nice. To be fair, it does look quite nice. But as I say, I just want to get that new screen in there. But all launches pretty quickly, if it's going to show me APB. So yeah, pretty happy with it. So all the sound and everything's good in there. And actually the screen, I'd say the screen's better on this than what my old Game Gear one was. It's definitely playable, but as I say, I can't wait to get that new screen in there. And as I say, it's all in nice nick, and as I say, fully loaded. So yeah, that's the new handheld system I've got. Let's show you the next new system I've got. Now, funnily enough, it was when I went up to get them boards with Lee. I know Lee picked up a lot more boards. He was pretty much talking about something all day to me, all the way up there and all the way back, literally about 10 hours, 12 hours straight talking about this system. And then when we got back to his, I tried it and I was absolutely blown away. I think every gamer should have one. It's a Oculus Quest 2. Absolutely fantastic. I don't know, it's just awesome. It's just awesome. The experience you get, I mean, they're pretty cheap now as well. I know you can get the brand new, you can get the 64 gig one. I think they're 300 quid. This is the 256, which is 400, but I actually bought this used for I think 250, like barely used as well. Really just to give it a go, because obviously if anything like this, you buy it, and if you don't end up liking it that much, you just lose a lot of money. So I thought, well, I'll just buy a used one, because they're all under warranty, because they're, I think, when were they released? What, last October, something like that, the Quest 2? So I just made sure it come with a receipt, and yeah, if anything goes wrong in it, I know I can get it fixed. Obviously just seeing a headset is not really good for showing, and I can't even really show any gameplay or anything like that, but I've been playing Virtual Pinball, is it 3DX, something like that, or FX, Pinball FX. Absolutely mind-blowing. It is so good. Like any, as I say, when I say arcade game, I mean, I find a lot of arcade gamers like the pick up and play aspect, and there's so many pick up and play games on that thing. I mean, table tennis is literally like you're playing table tennis, like a game called 11. It's awesome. I've been playing a golf game on there as well, which is awesome. There's so many things on there. Even like when you put films on there, because I bought a link cable for the PC, so I can just upload like movies and stuff on there. It's like you're at the cinema. It's so good. It is, honestly, I think that's probably one of my favourite things I've picked up out of this in this vid. That includes the arcade boards, the Galaxian. It's awesome. I've spent so much time with that thing in the last probably, let's say, six weeks to 2 months, than everything else in here. It's been that good, and even the wife's loving it. Like I bought that Beat Saber, because that was the reason I bought the PSVR the other, what was that, probably about 4 or 5 months ago. But then when I realised it was download only, I was a bit like, I didn't really want to sort of spend the money on it. Especially because you're tethered in like with the PSVR. I thought, oh, you're going to be moving around, and basically the PlayStation 4 is in here and I haven't got that much room to move around. But then when I bought that, obviously I know it's still download only, but it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it. So anyway, like, that's probably my only modern pickup. Let's go back. We've got a couple of C64 games. Actually, one's a new homebrew actually. But the first one I'll show you is this compilation. I'm going to reel through these fairly quickly, to be honest, because, well, what more can I say about a compilation? It's not that exciting, I don't suppose. But this, I'm surprised I've never picked up before, because I'm so nostalgic about this compilation. Those that know, I mean, I use Monty on the Run music quite a lot on my channel. I've always talked about that Z as a shooter. Fantastic game, love it. It's so nostalgic, and Bounder as well. Starquake, I don't really remember playing that much, but the other three, I've got such fond memories, and I've actually still got my original tape with the manual. But even back in the day, I never remember having the inlay and a box for it. But yeah, I thought I'd grab that because, as I say, such a nostalgic game that to me. And then this one was inspired by Angelo. He does the retro phase games. He was praising this the other month to me, and it's Bomberland on the C64 cartridge. I still haven't played it. I'll put a little bit of gameplay up there, so I have watched some gameplay, but yeah, still not played it. I've got to give it a go because I've always quite liked Bomberman. Obviously, it's a Bomberman port. Fantastic box as well. Like, it's a really nice package. Let's get it out and show you if I can. As I barely touched this, and that's why I'm struggling to get into it. Right, what have we got? I know you got some sort of like poster which is up there. I won't bother showing you that, but it's in a really cool orange cart. I don't know why I had to get that out. I could have just pulled that up to show you. So it's a really nice package with a nice manual. And a little thank you note from James Monkman. Yeah, really cool. Really cool little. Well, I think it's a cool little game. I know it's been praised about, but I do love seeing, again, like arcade ports for sort of older system. So I suppose, yeah, you got a Dino Blaster port. Really cool. Let's chuck that there. Right, now what we've got left is pretty much just Amiga games now. There's not many. There's only, what, 5 boxed ones? No, 6 boxed ones. I'll tell you what, so I was going to pick this up anyway. So we've got Marble Madness. I was just going to go through pretty much the prices, to be honest. I know a lot of people like hearing what I paid for stuff. I believe Bomberland ended up being about 35 quid. That was brand new from the site. And this one was from Retro Cavern. I believe it's only about 4 quid, something like that, because I bought a bit of a bundle. He done me a good deal, and obviously combined postage. But this was an eBay purchase, Marble Madness. About 22 quid, I think, posted, which I thought was quite good. It was. I offered less. I think I offered 20, and the guy come back and said, "Oh, could you go to like 22?" Which I think made it. I think it might have been about 25 posted. Apparently, when he first listed it, he had a 40 quid offer that he turned down, and they never went back. And then it was on there for a few months. So I think he's a bit gutted about that. But sticking with arcade ports, we've got Alien Storm. I've still got to give this one a bit of an eye on. The back is pretty banged up, but it's a really tough game to get. Like, I don't know, like, don't see it often. You do not see it often, and again, there's not many Sega games I've got left to get. And to be honest, apart from that, it's not in bad condition, and I'll get an eye on that and make that presentable. Not the best of ports, if I'm honest. Stand that up. Sticking with Sega, this one's in really nice nick actually. It's Afterburner. I do like these boxes. I think out of all the Amiga boxes, I think these long boxes are my favourite. But it comes complete. Again, it's another not great Sega game. Manual, discs, and even this is what I was sort of looking for as well, was the sticker. I do like seeing the stickers in there. Don't even think I've loaded this to even try it yet. I just know it's not a game I liked. I'm not even a huge fan of the arcade port, if I'm honest. Sorry, the arcade game, if I'm honest. But all in nice nick. So I think that's the last Sega game in that style of box I was after. And then the last Sega game in this pickups vid is Master Mix. It's got what's it got? 5 games on there. Now, it's not one I've really come across that much, if I'm honest. It just sort of caught my eye because Super Wonder Boy was on there, and that's quite a sought after game. Not a bad game either. Frame rate's not great, but it plays all right. Crackdown's really decent on the Amiga. Turbo Outrun's pretty janky. The other two are quite average as well, but it was a compilation I didn't have, and I just love these orange boxes. And it was 99p. I think I put £5 down on it and just forgot about it, and then it just come up saying I'd won it for 99p. So yeah, I think £3.20 postage, so under a five of that. Bit of a bargain, I'd say. And there's only one Sega game I'm after now, and that's Scramble Spirits, and that should be all the Sega arcade games on the Amiga, all the ports, all the arcade ports. And for the Atari, for the full Atari set, I think I'm after Rampart, which I might just pull the trigger. There's been one on eBay there for a while, I think for like 30 quid. I might just pull the trigger on that. And the other one is, I can't remember. I'll come back if I remember it. But yeah, we've got Rampart. Oh, I do know the other one. It's Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones. It's the Atari System 1 game, which again, I think there's been one on eBay now for about 3 or 4 months. It keeps being relisted at 100 quid. I'm not paying that. But next up, a shooter for the Amiga, published by Virgin, and that's Apocalypse. Another one I don't know too much about. I know it's like a helicopter sort of horizontal game. I think you sort of go back and forth, sort of completing sort of missions. Again, I've heard it's very average, but it's always been a game that I've kept an eye on. And again, this was another one from Retro Cavern. This one and the next few games all come from Retro Cavern, and he done me a really good deal. So I got quite a few hit squads off him as well. And then the last boxed game is, funnily enough, one that Mr. Bad showed, I believe, on his last pickups vid, and that's Flimbo's Quest. I do like these boxes as well. They're sort of 3/4 boxes, but they're quite fat. There's a few System 3 games that come in boxes like this, and I think there was a few of the Last Ninjas that did. Again, quite a average platformer. Some people prefer the C64 version. Personally, I've got no nostalgia about either of them, but it's always been a quite colourful game that's taken my interest. But again, not really giving it any time at the moment. Now, last but not least, those that remember, probably quite a few months ago, I bought a game called Football Masters. It's a football management game that I've got a lot of nostalgia for, and I remember I've been looking for years for like a boxed copy. Like I didn't know if it came boxed. It was just, I know I got a manual and a disc off Retro Pixels, like quite cheap to be honest. It's not a sought after game, but it's definitely one you don't see very often. But as I say, I had absolutely no idea if it ever had a box, because I've never seen them. I know that the later games by ESP came boxed, but the earlier ones I had no idea. But this sort of confirms that it didn't come boxed. And it's basically, I mean, I don't think there's any need to cover addresses, but these come from, I say, Retro Cavern. He got these, and it's like mail ordered from ESP. They're like early football management games. These went up to Stockport, Cheshire. Should that be Stockport? I don't know. It says Stockport on all of them, so I know Stockport's up that way as well, isn't it, in Cheshire? But yeah, I mean, it even says on there, magnetic media enclosed, do not bend. There's even, I mean, it even says on there, ESP from the maker, the developers of the game. Basically, yeah, they're the early football management games. So I'm chuffed like anything to get these, really, because I know they're not sought after, but you got professional football masters. Again, just literally just manual and discs sent in an envelope. I'm chuffed as anything to get these. So that's sad I am, really. Then we've got, I think this one's Football Crazy. Again, it wasn't these two. These two, I don't think I've ever played them. But you got Football Crazy on that one. Again, just a manual and the discs. And as I say, it just screams sort of mail order all day long. That's why I always sort of had an inkling there was no box for them. And then this was the one I was, let's say, really, really nostalgic about. And it's Football Masters. And say, me and my mates used to play this for hours. And I say the developer's only in Southend, so again, not far from me. But in this one came Football Masters, like the editor as well. And again, I think this bundle, I think it was less than 20 quid he charged me for this. To be honest, I would have got more. I was actually playing it quite cool. I was a bit like, oh yeah, I'm not overly bothered. But yeah, I really was. I did want them. So yeah, chuffed as anything to get these, just for my own nostalgia, really. As I say, definitely not sought after. Just interesting bit of history for me, really. But anyway, I'm hoping this isn't too long. I don't know, when I put all the other clips together, I'm hoping I can keep it under half hour. I have no idea how long I've been rabbiting on for, if I'm honest. But until next time, YouTube, I'll see you soon.